They've done it again. Johan Durant and Steven Mitchell are the APTA national champions for the second year in a row.
There you have it, your women's APTA national champions, Florentina Harnisch and Anna Maria Sabori.
Hello and welcome to the APTA's Tour Series. We're live from the Manufacturers Golf and Country Club in Fort Washington, Pennsylvania, bringing you the 2022 Philly Open Men's NRT, sponsored by the APTA membership, our national sponsor Paddle Pro, and our local sponsors Tester Construction Group, Penna's Italian Market, La Cabra Brewery, Andrew Hawker, The Rackets Realty, and Skull U. And it's a pretty somber moment here for us. I'm Mark Fischel along with Patty Hogan, remembering our good friend George Wilkinson, who died tragically in a car crash Thursday night, and we're all just trying to deal with it right now. Patty, any thoughts on George you want to share? Well, personally, George was a really good friend. He just had a huge heart and a smile on his face. Any room George entered was happier having him in it than it was before he got there. He was the proverbial shirt off his back guy. He cared so much about his friends. He was always smiling, always happy. It's an odd cliche, but I would say the life of the party describes George perfectly. I know he was instrumental in a lot of people's lives. Very helpful with junior paddle, great teacher at nursing, and just got a new job at the Englewood Club, New Jersey, engaged. We're just going to miss him a lot. He was a special human being, and the world is a worse place without him. Okay, so let's take a look at the players in the court as we bring you the Philly Open Final. At the top right-handed screen is Johan Durant in the blue hoodie, in the blue hat, and his partner to his left in the gray is Steven Mitchell. Top left-hand part of the screen is Adam Morgan, and in his right is Tyler Frazier. Chair umpire Tim McAvoy is about to introduce the players.
On my left are Johan Durant from Wayland, Massachusetts, and Steve Mitchell from Natick, Massachusetts. On my right, Tyler Frazier from Cincinnati, Ohio, and Adam Morgan from Lake Bluff, Illinois. Durant Mitchell won the toss and have elected to receive. This will be a set, regular scoring, 12-point tiebreaker if teams get to 6 all in each of the 6 sets.
Okay, so there was Hall of Famer Tim McAvoy explaining the scoring system. Yesterday we played no ad. Today will be regular scoring. We're having some technical difficulties getting Patty on, but let's go through the Viking keys to victory. For Frazier Morgan, they have to serve well. They just can't donate anything. And serving well fits perfectly with get to the net, because I don't believe they can win this match playing 80-85% of it from the backcourt, which has been the norm against Durant Mitchell. And then finally, Frazier really has to be dynamic. Once we get Patty back, she's going to talk a little bit about a tremendous PFP match a couple 3 years ago where Frazier Morgan beat Durant Mitchell, and Frazier was dynamic. For Durant Mitchell, just do what they do. Dominate with returns. We've seen that all season long. As the Mitchell return has gotten better and better, it complements the Durant return, which is unquestionably the best in the country. And because they return so well, they're at the net all the time. And once they're at the net, they volley exceptionally well, and Durant overhead is really, really effective. And it's just very hard to beat them from that position. Don't donate means stay focused, don't give away any points, and then play their tempo. Durant Mitchell are the best fast-paced team in the country, but they can't get too fast. They got to play at the pace they like to play, and that was the big jump Durant made about 3 years ago when he started playing the middle with his overheads when the time was appropriate. So clearly Durant Mitchell favorites in this match, but Tyler Frazier and Adam Morgan definitely have a chance, and Frazier is one of the most dynamic young players in the country with all sorts of weapons. He had a huge win yesterday over Broderick Christian in the quarters. So here we go. Tyler Frazier to serve to Johan Durant.
Have fun. Yep, use it. 15 love.
And Frazier will be the only one of the 4 players on the court serving overhand. Everyone else will be utilizing the sidearm serve. Here's an example of the Mitchell return. It's gotten so good. He's moving forward. He's looking for it in a lot of places. And that's the complicated part. Frazier needs to be dynamic, but he doesn't want to engage Durant on a consistent basis like that because there's just no one better in the game, the hand-to-hand combat, than Durant. Great blitz there from Frazier, forces the error from Durant.
Here. Yeah. Go! Come back. Come back.
Great get from Morgan. Miss lob from Frazier, and those are the mistakes they just can't afford to make today. You're going to miss some volleys, you're going to miss some drives. Lobs and overheads just can't be missed.
Serve was out. Serve was out. 30, 40.
At least early on, this is not a good pattern for Frazier Morgan. Good serve there.
Here. Yep.
Durant just that extend arm looks like he's out of position, just reaches out, makes the volley, and here they are at the net again, where they've been every extended point so far. Frazier looking for the blitz. We talked about it yesterday, what a great job Frazier's done with his forehand. Reliability for a long time. And there, Durant tags Frazier in the chest and a ball was going out, but it was never designed to go in. Only designed to go into Frazier's chest. So advantage Durant Mitchell. Mitchell misses the return. And so far, most of the points that have been won by Fraser Morgan have been on missed returns.
Good morning,
Australia.
Mark.
Patty Hogan, welcome to the booth.
Well, it's great to be in the booth, Mark.
Go!
I don't know how much you've seen so far, Patty. But basically it's Durant Mitchell dominating with their returns. A couple of missed returns, but otherwise they've been at the net every single point. There's a great rip through from Morgan.
Hey!
This is really the first we've seen of Fraser Morgan at the net.
You! You! Me!
Oh, great move from Durant. Look at that transition play.
Advantage.
It's just amazing how he does that, Patty. I mean, you can't hit 3 overheads to him before he finds a forehand that goes through you. There's Durant in transition again. Catches Morgan deep in the court. And it's game Durant Mitchell.
They lead the
And it's
first
looking
set
a little bit like the
of game
freight train has left the station.
Hey, Mark, I apologize for missing the intro. I could hear a few of your words about George. I just wanted to add, George was a larger-than-life personality. He was so beloved, and in this sport, with the influx of international players who became some of our game's top teaching pros, you know, George was up there, and he was creative. He just filled every space with joy, energy, and he was so beloved by anyone who knew George, loved George, and he will be terribly missed.
Well said, Patty. Okay, Johan Durant to serve. And he and Stephen Mitchell are both hitting the sidearm serve, and they're two of the best in the country. Maxwell Pavera was talking yesterday about how the ball just had a lot more kick than most of the other sidearm serves he's faced.
15. Love.
Early on, this match is following a fairly predictable pattern,
No!
where that's 3 lobs missed by Fraser.
We talked about it yesterday, Mark. Just Durant and Mitchell's ability to get off to a fast start is so remarkable.
30. 15.
Durant looks astonished that he actually missed a shot. And I'd have to agree with him. There's a great blitz from Fraser, and that's the dynamism we need to see from him. Mitchell does such a good job of sliding to his right to take away the right hip.
And in doing so, they just really cover the middle. There's just no opening on a drive there. And by him coming so far to his right, covering the middle, you know, he leaves open a large part of the court to his left, but it's a much lower percentage.
Well, Durant misses an overhead. Game point for Fraser Morgan.
He's human, Mark.
Allegedly.
I was beginning to wonder.
I know we're early in the match, Patty, but these are the points that Fraser Morgan just have to find a way to win. You know, amongst the myriad of amazing skills Durant has, one of the most impressive is his anticipation. He seems to know before you know where you're driving the ball.
And he does, because I think as the level, as we know, of paddle players goes up, they're thinking, you know, they know shots 2 shots ahead. Players start out in the sport of platform tennis, Mark. I know it was a long time for both of us, and when a ball comes your way, you simply react to it. And all of a sudden, as you gain confidence, your anticipation improves because you know you have your awareness of what's going to evolve in the point. And these guys, maybe 3 shots ahead, Mark. Certainly 2 at all times, like you said.
Great finish there from Mitchell.
Advantage, Frazier.
Seem to have lost that ball. I think John Lubau was retrieving it. Another opportunity for Frazier Morgan to get on the board.
Mark, what's the temperature in Philly this morning?
It's supposed to be high 40s. I would say right now it's high 30s. Sunny, beautiful day. Definitely warmer than yesterday.
Yeah, we saw Bostrom hit a down-up overhead that went out of the court at a real unfortunate time for them in that match yesterday. You just don't see that when it's 15 degrees, but as the temperatures rise, that definitely becomes a factor.
That last forehand volley from Durant's exactly what we're talking about. Frazier just absolutely tagged the backhand. Perfect spot. Durant just reached down with his forehand volley and made it look easy. Great blitz from Frazier, catches the let cord, and it's 1-all.
First set.
And that's what we need to see more from him. They just got to find their way to the net more. I don't think they can win from the backcourt on a consistent basis. You see that transition from Durant Mitchell, which is so tough. Durant misses that one.
Love.
And that's the thing, you know, in the evolution of Tyler Frazier's game, Mark. He's got every shot in the book. We talked about it yesterday, and he can hit that dipping ball that can impact even a Johan reaching for that low ball to his left. I want to tell you about one of the greatest paddle matches I ever saw, Mark, at the changeover.
Looking forward to hearing
Happened
it.
to involve it involved these 4 players.
15-30.
And there's the conundrum. Morgan tries to come into Durant, misses the volley. 15-30. Boy, Mitchell's forehand has gotten so good. Turn of serve. His game has just grown and grown. I know we were talking off air. He's got to be one of the most improved players in the country over the last couple of years. Now they're staying back to Durant.
I love this call, even though it might have been a football.
Yo.
Mark, I spoke of it yesterday. I think when a team's really struggling and you're struggling to control play off your first volley, staying back on the baseline, no big deal. These guys can play every screenshot.
Yeah, I think that's true, Patty. The problem is I just don't think that Frazier Morgan can win this match from the backcourt. So I'm okay with their staying back, but now they got to find a way to get to the net.
I'm going to tell you about how, Mark, shortly.
I'm not sure whether that ball was called out or not.
I said no, leave it, but I didn't say no.
Okay, so Durant said no, leave it, but they think it was good. Point to Frazier Morgan.
30-40.
Looked like Mitchell signaled with his right hand out, but then played the ball. Okay, staying back again.
Game. Durant and Mitchell. Durant and Mitchell lead the first set. 2 games.
So, Patty, what was one of the greatest paddle matches you've ever seen?
Oh, my Lord. It happened to be with these four guys, and it was won by Fraser Morgan, pro flight event, Fiddler's Elbow, 2 years ago. Kind of the rise of Stephen Mitchell and the rise of Adam Morgan and Tyler Frazier. And it was the rise of Adam Morgan who was a known. But the it factor that I saw that changed that day with Adam was he up to that point had been an incredible defensive type of paddle player, Mark, and all of a sudden he started pouncing on the ball. And I think if there's any team in the country among the top guys who could win from the baseline against these guys, I actually think it's Morgan and Frazier. I think they have that mentality. They can grind forever. They'll put a million balls in play. And you know, as we have seen with Mitchell and Durant, sometimes they play a little bit of a looser second set. They often get off to an amazing start. But I just think Morgan, we know, is just tenacious as hell over there out of that deuce court. I saw a lot of different looks from Morgan Frazier yesterday, switching sides on the baseline, even switching their positions, which players handling the overheads. And I think because of that variety and, you know, their enthusiasm for making the final after, you know, a couple of missteps this year, Mark, I think they're ready. I think they're playing freely. You know, I don't know if you talked about it. They had a loss to Rams Wagner, who are, you know, a great team. They had a loss to Court and Osis Koning, you know, in the event in Chicago. So I think those are like two teams that are great players, but not players who you would think Morgan and Frazier would lose to. So I clearly think they came into this tournament with a chip on their shoulder, really pushing themselves. And I actually give them a pretty good chance in this match, Mark.
Well, we'll find out in the next couple hours.
I often lose money on my bets, Mark, but I'm willing to take a stand.
You are definitely willing to take a stand. One of the things I love about you, Patty Hogan. Great rip there from Frazier. And there, Durant pulls the trigger a little bit early, misses Frazier, and it's love 40. Frazier's backhand is such a compact shot.
Which backhand, Mark? He's got a couple, doesn't he?
No! Come on, good shot.
Okay, 2-all. Great play from Frazier Morgan there.
Games are 2-all.
We start off with 4 consecutive breaks.
Mark, my comment about Frazier is simply, he's got that two-handed backhand he doesn't take. You know, we saw Max Lipperver. He's got a beautiful forehand drive, but it's a huge windup, where I think you're referring to. Frazier has that kind of tighty backswing, real short backswing, and, you know, the whole length of his two-handed backhand stroke, nowhere near as long as, let's say, the Lipperver forehand stroke.
Or even the Parsons backhand, which is pretty well accepted as the best backhand in the game. Frazier's backhand is just so short, it enables him to do a lot of different things with it.
And he'll go back and forth, and he's got such variety. Like, you know, we talked about it yesterday. I talked about it. I just marvel at the shots that Frazier continues to add to his game. And, you know, including all of the overheads where he, you know, they became a team of, you know, to be reckoned with last year because he started hitting those cutter drops, you know, and they could end points at the net where, you know, in this game, how many teams can do that? Araya Parsons, Johan Steven, how many teams have the cutters? Drew can hit the cutter. Maybe the top 8 teams in the country, Mark, can do it on demand.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's top 8.
Yeah, maybe it's not 18. You're right.
I think it's maybe 4 or 5.
Love 30.
There's a different serve for Frazier. Misses that one. Ray and Mitchell play so seamlessly together. You don't hear much talk between them on who's hitting what balls or switching.
15-40.
Big forehand there from Morgan. See if they're going
That's
to
what
stay
I've
back.
observed about Morgan's game in the last 2 years, Mark, is his ability to take the shot when he's got it, really apply pressure out of that deuce court.
There's just a tremendous drive from Morgan. Finds Durant's right hip and he handles the forehand volley like it's nothing. Yep, little donation there from Mitchell.
40.
Well, it'd be big if Frazier Morgan could find their way out of this game.
And right there you saw one of the adjustments Morgan and Frazier made, Mark, where when they switch courts, they'll keep Adam Morgan in that ad court on purpose, which I didn't see that much of last year.
Deuce.
Great serve from Frazier. Mitchell misses that one. Back to deuce. Great spot from Morgan. Elicits the volley error from Mitchell, and they'll have a point for a first hold of the match. Great play from Frazier Morgan, and they lead 3-2 first set.
3 games to 2.
You know, Mark, when I said I thought that if any team could withstand this, it's Morgan Frazier. I do believe that. I didn't just say it to make this kind of a fun match to watch, or, you know, just putting it on the line with what, you know, the stakes here. I just think truly Morgan Frazier are such a talented team, and they can counterpunch, and that's what you need against Durant and Mitchell.
Another donation from Durant. So far, Frazier Morgan are really handling the pressure from the Durant Mitchell overheads. There you see Mitchell with the hard overhead designed to create chaos. Frazier Morgan handled it well.
I love the Morgan drive up the line, Mark, behind Johan. Love that drive behind Morgan.
Holding the net against Durant Mitchell is just so hard. Good swing from Morgan, just misses it long. Yeah, that's the fine line that Tyler Frazier's got to walk. You want to see him being dynamic. You don't want to see him getting into too many hand battles with Durant.
Yeah, we talked about that before we went on the air, Mark, today. If Tyler would challenge Johan, because we see Johan get the best of that against everybody in the country, having only lost one match this year in Chicago. Only loss of the season. You probably already said that for Durant and Mitchell. Frazier is a student of the game, has learned a ton. As you evolve in this game, it's so much about your shot selection. And if you look up and you've got a guy on top of the net, there's no way in men's paddle you get away with that little off-speed ball.
And Morgan catches Mitchell. Frazier misses the backhand, back to deuce. It's interesting, at least early in the match, Durant is letting Mitchell hit a lot more overheads. Not switching nearly as much as they did, although there, Mitchell slides over to the right.
We saw a lot of that in yesterday's matches with Durant Mitchell, Mark, where we've always seen Durant get himself to the left of the two players at the net. But Mitchell's got some wicked overheads himself, and I love to see him getting more looks.
Although yesterday they weren't challenged at all. We'll see if today's any different. Again, Durant baits him into driving the ball, gives up the net. Misses the lob wide. Early on, we're seeing some donations from Durant Mitchell. Durant load up to that cut, and then he follows it up with a winner. Great 1-2 punch. One of the other big improvements we've seen in Durant's game is he's reaching less. When he played with Parsons, there were so many volleys that Parsons would miss because Durant was reaching in front of him, and we're not seeing that anymore.
You mean even Johan is getting better, Mark?
A scary thought. Durant Mitchell does such a great job of keeping their overheads low.
Advantage.
And there Durant picked up on Morgan being too deep in the court, hits the hard overhead, and Morgan can't run it down. Advantage Durant Mitchell. Again, Morgan with a great drive, causes Durant to flip his paddle, but because he's Durant, he hits a brilliant forehand volley that Morgan can't track down. 3-all, first set.
You made the comment, Mark, about Johan catching Morgan in that deuce court playing kind of deep. Not only was he deep, I thought he was playing a little closer to the middle and giving up a lot of his corner. And I'd like to see him scoot over a step to his right, because Durant is not going to take an overhead and not hit the ball into a corner. He's not going to lay that shot in the middle to Morgan's backhand. I don't see that as one of Durant's choices. You know, I'd like to, so my point is I'd like to see Morgan risk a little bit, open up the middle of the court more, and try to take away a little bit of that side screen on the Durant overhead when he's on a diagonal from Durant. See how close to the middle he is right now, Mark? If Tyler lobs Johan, well, Johan threw a straight ahead, neutral kind of overhead, actually.
15 love.
Durant misses that one.
But you could see he went for the overhead because he saw that little bit of an opening over without Morgan in that deuce court.
Great lob
And
by
Mark,
Mitchell.
in contrast, you see
Misses that
playing really close to the middle of the court. It's because his wingspan is about 3 feet longer than Adams. Maybe 5 feet.
Pretty love. There's a donation from Mitchell.
I'll be here. Yeah. Come back. Yeah. Yep. 40-15.
You saw Mitchell was backing off the net, but Morgan misses the drive. Takes us to 40-15.
Throw it out.
Frazier calls it out. Durant confirms. 4-3, Frazier Morgan.
4 games to 3.
Mark, a lot of Durant Mitchell's matches that we've seen, we always feel like they control the pace of play. We talk always about the importance of tempo. I feel like this set so far, the tempo totally favors Morgan Frazier. I feel like it's a pretty deliberate match. I haven't seen Durant create the havoc that he normally does.
New ball, they're switching after 7 games. I think that's
Do you
spot
agree
on,
with that?
Patty.
Okay.
And they're also behind, which is not something we've seen much of at all this weekend. couple of missed lobs. Just can't afford that. This is one of those fast games Frazier Morgan just have to stay away from. But I think to your point, Patty, when we watched the Burris-Ordoya final at Short Hills a couple weeks ago, he was kind of waiting for the roof to fall in on them. And you don't feel that right now. And by that I mean the inevitability of the Durant-Mitchell run.
Durant and Mitchell, games are 4-4, first set.
Yeah, the first 3 points of that game, Duran found himself to the left of the two players and, hit a couple winning shots there. And that's more like what we've come to expect out of Durant and Mitchell and how they set up. But we've got ourselves a match. This is great for all. Philly Open.
We had 4 breaks to start the match.
McAvoy.
4 breaks to start the match,
Mark.
and then 4 holds immediately after. Great drive from Morgan. 15 all. And there you got a great view of Durant hitting that hard overhead and then backing off the net in anticipation of a Morgan drive. Another donation from Mitchell. Durant looking for the nick with that overhead, just missed it. Morgan catches the let cord. A couple points for 5-4. Oh, that's a smart play from Morgan. Question is, will he pay for it later on?
Lead the first set, 5-4.
All right, Mark, this is so exciting for Frazier Morgan. What an opportunity they have. What great wins yesterday getting into this final. It's what they needed heading into Nationals in a couple weeks out on Long Island. And I wonder what Duran and Mitchell are thinking right now. I think they think they just have to play their game. I expect an up-tempo type of effort coming soon, Mark.
Oh, look at Durant like a cat on that ball. You definitely see his energy level is higher. Hard overhead, Frazier can't run it down, and if Frazier can't run it down, no one can. Another hard overhead from Durant, and he catches Frazier there.
30, love.
You can just see his demeanor has changed. And there he fakes the hard overhead. And Morgan misses a relatively routine ball because he was so jumpy because the hard overhead was coming.
40-15.
Rare fault from Durant.
Watch it.
And Durant closes the net but misses the volley. 40-30. Another fault from Durant. Wow. Frazier Morgan 2 points from the set. Again, Durant faking the hard overhead. Oh, what a pickup from Mitchell from off the net. Mitchell misses the transition shot, and it's set point. Frazier Morgan. Oh, Morgan will not be happy with that miss. Really good lobbing. Last few points this game. Frazier Morgan driving Durant Mitchell out of the service box.
The only thing I find shocking right now is that Johan's not on the other side of Steven here. How he's still letting Steven handle a lot of the overheads, where Durant is unbeatable when he dictates play from the other, this position on the court, when he's hitting a majority of the overheads.
Great exchange for Frazier Morgan. Morgan forehand wins another point. Great blitz there, and that's the 1-2 punch that Frazier Morgan has to have. The Morgan drive, the Frazier blitz, set point number 2. Great spin overhead from Durant. Would have expected Frazier to put that back in play. Again, Durant with the hard overhead. Designed to pull Morgan out of the corner and create chaos. Game point again for Durant Mitchell. Well, Mitchell is not happy about that miss. They're keeping him in this game with the donations.
I love that lob that Morgan hit there, Mark, up the line. I love it when the deuce court player on the other side of the net from Durant go up the line, try to, you know, you rarely get errors from the guy, but I just think when he moves to his right, he just dictates play off his overheads. I love that lob up the line, an occasional drive up the line on Johan, hitting behind him.
Set point number 3. Yeah, Morgan misses that lob wide. Another opportunity goes by the wayside. Like it's just a matter of time until Durant hits another hard overhead to create the chaos that he's so good at. And again, allowing Mitchell to hit a lot of overheads. Morgan misses that one.
Advantage, Durant.
Frazier takes a swing at the wrong ball, and Durant and Mitchell make the way out of that game. That might be a turning point in the match, Patty.
Yeah. I wonder, real fast, if Durant staying to the right of the players at the net, on top of the net, is out of regard and respect for all the offensive opportunities that Frazier can capitalize on. Do you think that's a play on purpose? Because I was thinking about that, because he has shut down most of, Frazier's offensive weapons.
Excuse me, possible.
Love 15.
There, Frazier gets caught in between shots, misses that one.
I'll be here. Yeah.
Patty, have you heard the phrase boomerang game?
15 all.
Mitchell gets caught blitzing. Mitchell's made a lot of errors the last few games. There he makes another great first volley from Morgan. Able to capture the net on Durant return. Always an impressive feat.
Yeah, another good adjustment from Morgan. He was staying back on some. There he went in.
40-15.
3 fast errors from Mitchell this game.
Yeah. I got you.
I got him. Let it go. Let it go.
Adam, it doesn't need to be that good.
40,
And
30.
as Adam Morgan accurately said, there's just no reason to do that. Relatively easy ball, put it in play.
I'll be here. Yeah.
Oh boy. 2 relatively routine misses from Morgan. Brings us back to deuce. Mitchell again with a questionable shot selection there. Morgan makes him pay for it. Another
Well, it was
opportunity to
questionable
go
'cause Durant
6-5.
Durant committed to moving forward, and there was no place to go.
One Durant forehand, all it takes. Oh, great, like a cat on a piece of meat.
This is what we're talking about.
Misses the overhead there, and it's 6-5, Frazier Morgan.
Lead the first set, 6 games to 5. Thank you.
That's more like what I expect, and that's the havoc I'm talking about that Durant creates with his movement, wingspan. You know, shots, he just loves to take it to his opponents. You know, I feel like Durant and Mitchell are a little bit off here this morning, Mark.
Well, that was definitely a spotty game from Mitchell. And he'll serve to stay in the first set. Durant changing pace on his overheads. Great cut winner from Frazier. We saw a lot of that yesterday in the win over Broderick Christian. Oh, what a transition from Durant. Anybody else, that would have been a foolish shot, but he executes it perfectly. Great spot from Morgan. Mitchell misses the volley. 15-30. See if the Mitchell serve holds up here.
15-40.
Two more set points if they need them. Oh, what a cut winner from Durant.
40. I won't tell you.
Still set point. Number 4, I believe.
Yep. You. Me.
Oh, just a brilliant cut winner. Made Frazier look like a beginner on that ball. That was a tough overhead. Two brilliant ones from Durant to save both set points.
You could hear Johan, me. And you saw how Mitchell moved out of the way and just let Johan come way over on those overheads.
Are there any more comforting words in paddle than me when Durant says it? Point for a tiebreak.
Yep.
Great volley from Mitchell way off the net. Here's the short one. Boy, Durant puts so much pressure on you with the overhead. I mean, that's a ball that Frazier makes 10 times out of 10 against other players. But there he's looking for so many different things. Durant, the hard overhead, the spin, that the soft overhead beats him. And we'll play a tiebreak to determine the first set. Great action, Patty.
Yeah, I'm psyched about a tiebreaker here, Mark. The tempo, I think, is favored Morgan Frazier. But you just kind of feel like it's Johan time.
Frazier
'Cause I'm
Morgan
just
have
not
had
feeling-
5 set points.
Yeah. Feel like Mitchell's a little off still struggling slightly.
You feel like Frazier Morgan have to have this set. Great lob from Frazier, sets up the big Morgan forehand, and it's 2-1, Frazier Morgan. More rare forehand return miss from Durant takes us to 3-1. Back-to-back return misses from Durant Mitchell. Morgan Frazier don't even realize they have to change sides here. So 1-4, Stephen Mitchell serving. Seems like Durant Mitchell have been behind this whole set. Frazier misses that one.
Serving 2.
Another big fault from Mitchell. It's 5-2 Frazier Morgan. Oh, what a backhand from Mitchell.
I got it, Jack.
And then Mitchell has the hard overhead, and Frazier can't run it down. And that's the havoc that Durant Mitchell create. They just don't allow you to settle in. Huge point right here. At least that's what John Lubau would say.
I got you. Yo.
And Mitchell firing away with that forehand. Great confidence there, Patty. He's missed a bunch, but no hesitation at all. Ripped a couple, and it's back to 5-4.
Sure, and that's what we've always seen out of Mitchell since, he has ascended to the top in the game. He just is going to keep swinging. He's going to find his tempo on that forehand. So he's got to keep swinging to get the tempo.
Yo!
Durant has really upped his intensity level. His overheads have been tremendous the last few minutes. Imperative for Frazier Morgan to keep lobbing well. Great rip from Frazier, but Durant has the answer.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, what a volley from Durant. He had like one board to hit that in with Frazier blitzing. Oh, what a point. And here we go again. And it goes out of the court. Takes us to set point for Frazier Morgan.
Six.
Gosh, that whole point was a highlight film. So I think this is set points 6 and 7 if needed. I love how Tyler Frazier's lobbing. There it is, game in first set. Frazier Morgan, 7 games to 6.
Frazier Morgan, 7 games to 6.
Paddle Pro. For over 20 years, Paddle Pro has been recognized as an industry leader in platform tennis. The knowledge, expert advice, vast inventory, and ultimate customer service will help any player find the perfect equipment to take your game to the next level. Paddle Pro is the only website to carry all tennis brands. For more information, go to www.paddlepro.com. Okay, we'll be back for the second set after these messages right here on the APTA Network, presented by eNet Live.
Done. Great job. Hey, good stuff to you. Patty, good job. Yeah, a lot of fun. You guys look great out there. How long have you been playing?
Who, me? Oh, I've been playing my whole life. How about you?
Wow, I only started playing when I retired.
Someone say retired?
Looking good out there, Eli.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the APA Tour. We just finished the first set, a thrilling set, and the final between Frazier Morgan, Durant Mitchell. Patty, what are your thoughts?
You know, we talked when we came on the air a little bit about tempo, pace of play, who controls, who's dictating, and we kind of felt that from the start it was a Frazier Morgan kind of feel of the match. I feel like Steven and Johan are a little bit off here, and as we pointed out, Steven was taking a lot of the overheads. I looked to Johan to take charge. I think Morgan and Frazier have done a great job with their lobbing. Morgan's floated a couple long ones, but I think their lobbing has been tremendous, and I think their footwork is just incredible, and it's what's allowing them to withstand these offensive shots coming in all directions, you know, from Durant and Mitchell. And, you know, the question for me is just, can you hold up? Can you keep playing this style and survive in 3 sets or 2 sets, you know, against Durant and Mitchell? So, I mean, hats off. Morgan and Frazier playing a brilliant match.
Well, clearly the lobbing was the key in the breaker for me. They were constantly pushing them outside of the service box, and as a result, when they tried to go for the hard overheads, they weren't nearly as effective. They had to travel a greater distance and more down up. So it looks like Johan Durant to serve to start the second set.
You. I got it. You. You.
There, Mitchell catches the seam on the roller. 15 love. That hard overhead from Mitchell ends up not hurting them, but I think he's too deep in the court for that one. Gets away with it. Great move from Frazier, just misses the backhand volley. He was in perfect position there. And that's some of the movement from him that we've come to expect. Just a dynamic player. Great rip from Morgan, catches the nick, 40-30. Durant with a relatively routine volley error. This would be a huge game for Frazier Morgan. See Frazier playing short in the court, looking for the blitz. Morgan says not the ball, and he's absolutely right. Didn't really have a speed under him there. Durant looks up, he just can't believe he missed that volley. And I'm hard-pressed to disagree with him.
When you're Superman, you just don't expect to miss.
Yeah!
Oh, Durant just on top of the net. Great hands by Frazier to stay in there. Great get off the nick from Morgan. Oh, this is great stuff, isn't it, Patty?
Yeah, this is outstanding play. So fun to watch.
And again, you see Morgan pushing Durant outside the service box with both feet and to his right. Chance to get off to an early start for Frazier Morgan. Mitchell poaches, misses the volley wide, and it's 1-love Frazier Morgan, and they continue their momentum.
They won the first set 7-6.
Mark, I'm really impressed by Adam Morgan's play here and how he's spotting his drives. He's getting a lot of action over there. You know, we haven't seen much of Tyler. Tyler's offense out of that ad court is getting shut down by Durant. So it's landing over on Adam's side in that deuce court, and I think he's hit incredible forehand drives and moving them around a little bit. You know, won a point in that game going cross court. You know, when you saw that Durant had shut down the middle, and right there. So super impressed with his driving right at this point in the match.
New ball.
And I still feel Mitchell and Durant are just out of sorts.
Well, the interesting thing is you don't see Mitchell and Durant talking much. A little bit between sets, not at all there. Good swing from Morgan there, just misses it. Good high ball. Mitchell misses that one.
15 all.
Let's go, I. Yeah. Yes, yes. You.
What great drives from Frazier Morgan. They keep asking questions.
Yeah. You. Take that.
There you see Frazier, 50 Durant Mitchell looking to accelerate play again.
You.
Great cutoff there for Morgan. That ball looked like it was going to go right into the neck.
Go.
Great cut winner from Durant.
30.
They've just got to keep up the lobbing. They hit those lobs and push them out of the service box. They really neuter a lot of the Durant offense at the net.
Connect. You. Yes. You. Yep, me. You. You. You.
A rare point with Frazier Morgan hitting 4 or 5 overheads. But of course Durant takes over.
Now, 15-40.
Go I. Yeah. Here. Yeah.
Great transition from Frazier there. Oh, Durant just reaches down and makes that half volley.
You. You. You.
Just great cat and mouse from Durant.
Game. Durant
When he
to
does that,
Mitchell.
you just can't
Game
engage.
count, 1-all.
It's so
First
tempting.
set.
These guys are such great athletes, but they just always come out in second place, it seems. 1-all.
Love.
Patty, have you ever seen a one-handed backhand hard overhand like that?
Oh, my Lord. That was crazy great.
The acceleration and the racket speed, just insane.
30-15.
30-15.
You.
Great volley by Mitchell with Frazier blitzing.
I got it.
And every time in the match where you kind of felt like Durant and Mitchell were getting ready to take control of the match, they've had a donation. Frazier misses the forehand there. Let's see if they can close this game out. Big driving from Morgan. There's the hard overhead. Frazier misses it wide.
Durant and Mitchell.
It's such a hard shot, Patty. You're running forward so fast when they hit the hard overhead. You're cognizant of where the net is, trying to get your feet underneath you. Very difficult.
Yeah, there's such a tendency to swing so fast because your legs are moving so fast. You kind of match it with your upper body, and it's kind of, a temptation that, Durant hits on purpose to just reel that guy in and get him to go for just a little too much. I'll be curious, Mark. I don't know if we're going to see it in the second set from Durant and Mitchell, but I feel like Short Hill's final. Mitchell lights out forehands from that deuce court when they switched over a little bit. I'll just be curious to see if that happens at all here, because I just feel from the baseline they're flat.
They're not in the baseline very much. Most of the donations have come from the net. I mean, they've played the 75% of the match at the net. See if we have a shift in momentum here.
Yeah, that's really the first Mitchell forehand winner that we've seen in a while, Mark.
Staying back on the Morgan serve. Mitchell took a long look at that one before deciding it was in. Still had the athleticism to chase it down. Mitchell kind of flagged the ball there, missed the volley as well. And that's what's been happening. Every time they seem to get their arms around the match, they make a mistake. There you see Morgan going overhand. It's a great transition ball. Durant misses that one, and you see him telling himself, slow down, slow down. Boy, Mitchell with a donation there, and it's 40-15. Durant with an easy missed overhead, and it's 2-all.
Games are 2-all. Second set.
They do seem a little out of sorts.
Almost like a lack of urgency in this moment, Mark, from Durant and Mitchell.
Just seen so many donations today. I mean, this is the Durant from a couple of years ago, when he would increasingly try more and more difficult shots as the points got longer and longer. Frazier with the cross-handed volley takes us to 15-all. Misses that one. Great drive from Mitchell.
Yeah, what a spot drive from Mitchell right there, Mark. Just put it in a really awkward spot, even for Tyler Frazier.
15-30.
And Mitchell can't believe he missed that volley. Ball from Morgan behind Durant.
Yeah.
Three up and three back and one up. purpose with every Durant shot. And he blitzes like that. But Frazier Morgan staying the point. Great ball from Morgan. Oh, Durant. Just so brazen in his court positioning. Huge point there for Durant Mitchell. Takes us back to 30 all. What a volley from Mitchell on the Frazier blitz. Again, smartly goes behind Durant.
Now stay.
Another great lob from Morgan. You hear Mitchell calling out no one to Durant, meaning nobody's coming forward. Boy, Morgan is bringing the offense from both wings.
Oh, my Lord. How impressive is Morgan's play here?
And we put the announcer's jinx on him there, Patty Hogan.
I apologize.
Just don't let it happen
what
again.
Point.
Oh, Durant again with just a ridiculous series of shots. Great lob from Frazier. So whenever Mitchell's pushed out of the service box, he's hitting that hard overhead at Morgan. Catches the nick with the volley there. It's game Durant Mitchell, 3-2. Do you like that play, Patty?
I think it's a little risky.
It's definitely a little risky. Hard to argue with that. These guys have hit some amazing volleys from off the net.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I said I felt that Morgan Frazier could compete here. I feel like they got the monkey off their back, getting through the quarters, the semis. They've played freely. They're out here. They're looking loose. I mean, just incredible, defense of the onslaught of the offensive weapons that you see from Durant Mitchell. And a lot of offense coming from Morgan, whether he's on the deuce or the ad court.
So just to recap, it's 3-2, Durant Mitchell, second set. Tyler Frazier to serve.
15, love.
Durant bounced that one out of the court. Yeah, I think so. John Lubau's getting the ball back for us. Here it comes. Great arm from Lubau. Chair umpire McAvoy wants to know if the ball's okay. Looks good. Yeah, that's the shot that Frazier's got to let through. Can make that one, but that's a 5 out of 10 at best. Frazier Morgan switching back. That's a great drive from Morgan.
Best match we've seen this year from Frazier Morgan, Mark?
Absolutely. Another great rip from Morgan. This is the lob long. Boy, hit a couple of just laser beam forehands there that Durant had the answer to. Last one caught him out of position a little bit. Hard to criticize anything he did there, though. Once again, you feel like the match is hanging in the balance. You hear the urgency in Durant's voice there. And there they hit one of the rare short lobs, and Durant makes him pay. So much pressure all the time. Morgan throws the ball over to Mitchell, not realizing Frazier's serving. Point for 4-2. Great serve from Frazier elicits the forehand error from Mitchell. See APTA Tour Director Ann Sheedy watching. Wonderful job she does. Great exchange. All that hard work, and the lob is good. Oh, what a turnaround shot from Durant. Doesn't take much to win a point this game, does it, Patty?
I was just thinking, oh my Lord, what does it take? How many shots and what combination of shots? How do you break down these guys?
This point did start with that amazing exchange between Durant and Frazier at the net. Oh. See Mitchell let that ball go between his legs. Great scrambling from Morgan. Again, Durant staying on the right side at the net. Frazier covers for him. This is so good. Oh! Ball looked like it was out the whole way, caught the line. Okay, Morgan's in the washing machine, and Durant puts it away, and a rare exclamation from Durant with positive energy. What a point that was.
Oh boy, you know, you're just sitting back watching this and just waiting for the moment when Johan Durant turns into the real Johan Durant.
Great move here by Frazier Morgan, taking their time. See if Mitchell goes after this return again. Smartly lets that one through. Oh, lucky there, caught the let cord, and Durant misses the response.
Advantage, Durant.
Break point number 3. Drive from Morgan. Well, you expect Durant to handle that volley. Back to deuce. Now you see Frazier, Morgan both staying back against Durant. Or not.
Quick point about Morgan's drive, Mark. I think he's been brilliant in spotting his drives. He had Johan thinking that ball was going cross court. That's why Durant missed that volley in the middle.
Couple of missed backhands from Frazier this game. Another break opportunity.
Hey! Yo! Yeah,
Look
mate!
at Durant, 3 feet behind the service line, half volleying the ball. And there his little shot causes Frazier to miss, and it's 4-2 Durant Mitchell.
4 games to 2.
That was a huge game, Patty.
Felt that Frazier got sucked in a little bit to the pace of play from the baseline, Mark. A little less deliberate, I thought there.
Love 15.
Morgan catches the let cord. Now let's see if they can consolidate.
15 all.
Just hit the hour-and-a-half mark. Great play from Morgan.
30.
Stop, team. Yo. Yo. Yeah.
What a flick volley from Durant.
Yo. Yo.
Again, Durant taking over. Great dig for Morgan. Do you think they can keep this level up, Patty? In the whole match?
I do.
Yeah. And a miss, that one.
30 all.
More great action back and forth.
30 all.
Yep.
Another missed lob.
30, 40, 30. 40, 30. D service, D service.
Thanks, sorry.
Nobody remembers who's serving anymore.
Here we go, T. Come on. Go.
Great cross from Durant. Great pickup from Frazier. What does it get him? Back in the backcourt again.
I got you. Hit it. Yep. Come back, come back. Yeah, come back. Yeah, I got it. Oh, sorry.
Great rip from Morgan.
Let's go.
What a volley. I know I've said that by 4 or 5 times, but it's no less true. Just a brilliant shot from Morgan. Yeah, I just don't know if Fraser Morgan keep this up. They're playing brilliantly.
Yeah, just the last 2 games, feel a little bit of a energy going down from their side of the court. Understandable. And again, Durant's pushing it a little bit more, and now I'm waiting for Mitchell to have a spark from him as well. Because right now it feels like we're going 3, Mark.
3 or 2 or 4, I'm not sure. And this is just a huge game that'll have a major impact on who wins this set. Oh, what a shot from Durant. You see Durant bailing.
Yes.
But in perfect position for the hard response from Frazier. Yeah, Frazier misses another backhand. And that's just a classic example. Frazier Morgan played a great point. They made 15, 20 great decisions, a bunch of great shots, and they still came up on the short end of the stick. I mean, would you say this is a really high level for Frazier Morgan?
Yeah, but it's dipping a little bit, and I'm questioning a little bit of some of the shot selection from Tyler Frazier out of that ad court right now.
Well, that's exactly my point. I think they played a brilliant match, but I just don't know they can sustain this level because you don't feel like Durant Mitchell have played a brilliant match at all. And there you have another just sloppy error from Mitchell. But can Frazier Morgan maintain this level?
Kind of feel like Durant and Mitchell are about 60% of their capability right now, Mark.
And Frazier Morgan at 90?
I think they started the match about 95. I think right now they're in the 80s.
You're saying the gas tank's getting empty?
Yeah, I do feel that a little bit. And I think that's what happens if the tank goes down a little low. It does impact decision-making, footwork, all of those things.
Durant is so smart when he sees Frazier deep in the court or short in the court. He takes advantage there. Frazier's short and he hits him with the overhead. It's another point for 5-2. And there you see Durant going straight to the left side to get his overhead in the middle.
Yeah, that's my point. He just seemed like he was kind of real casual about it in the first set, in the first set. Second set, we've seen this much more, especially the last couple of games.
Frazier Morgan have got to keep up the deep lobs. Nice Durant from the service line just sticks his paddle down and makes another amazing volley. Oh boy, that was dangerous if you're Tyler Frazier. Get Durant moving him around. Oh, and misses him there. And the hard overhead drops, and it's game Durant Mitchell, and they lead 5-2 second set.
5-2. Frazier Morgan won the first set 7-6.
For over 20 years, Paddle Pro has been recognized as an industry leader in platform tennis. The knowledge, expert advice, vast inventory, and ultimate customer service will help any player find the perfect equipment to take your game to the next level. Paddle Pro is the only website to carry all platform tennis brands. For more information, go to www.paddlepro.com. Boy, Patty, was that not a classic example of a great player raising his level at the big moments?
I mean, it's what we've come to expect from Johan Durant over the years. It's what, puts him in the category as possibly the greatest player ever who's played this sport. Just his abilities to just open up the court, hit so many spins, so many paces, different shots. It's just remarkable to watch, and it's such a joy to watch. And it's also a joy to watch a team like Fraser Morgan be able to offset it with incredible defense. And then, I feel like they're not getting the offensive looks that they got in that first set from Durant and Mitchell right now. And again, I'm still waiting for Stephen Mitchell. I'm waiting for a couple more of those incredible forehands that has so improved throughout the course of this season.
Great one by Durant, opens the game. Out for Morgan. You kind of feel the air going out of the balloon. Beautiful view from John Scott and the E-Net crew of the great setting we have here at Manufacturers Golf and Country Club. Durant misses that one. Big shout out to Scott Balatek, our tournament director, also played in the tournament. Done a wonderful job. I don't quite understand that shot from Frazier. But he catches Mitchell reaching too far.
Yeah, I got it.
Quick shout out to the E-Net guys, the E-Net Live team. John Scott's doing a wonderful job along with Ed Noyes, Patrick Glory, and Elizabeth Hardwig. They are the glue that keeps this together behind the scenes and allows the APTA to present such great coverage from the Philadelphia Open.
Great blitz from Morgan there. But once again, Durant has the answer. Just so much pressure on them constantly. They have to lob well or Durant's going to make them pay, and that's the conundrum. And that takes us to set point.
I'll be here.
Just an amazing blitz from Durant. Game in second set to Durant Mitchell, 6 games to 2. Patty, it's just breathtaking to watch. I mean, Durant just elevated his level about 3 notches there.
He had to. He wasn't going to let this thing go. They knew, Durant knew they were struggling today, and he strapped it on. And here we go to a third set. Let's take a look at the rankings, Mark.
Yeah, quick look at the national rankings. I think that regardless of how Fraser Morgan do today, they're locked into that 5 through 8 slot. But they've really established themselves as potential contenders. Durant Mitchell sitting at the top of the heap. Burris or Doyle will be the number 2 seeds at national. Mariah Parsons 3.
And I think no matter the outcome of the third set, Fraser and Morgan are here, and this is a huge statement for all the other teams heading into nationals.
Okay, back to the action. Warming up a new ball, it appears.
Surprised Fraser Morgan just didn't take a little bit more time there, Mark, when they split sets.
Well,
Did he get a power bar?
Fraser is still off the court.
Okay.
So he is taking some time. It's imperative for Fraser Morgan to get off to a good start in this set.
Sometimes psychologically, when you've lost that second set and you're dragging a little bit because you're at the end of the tournament, once you do split sets, somehow you can find that last reserve of energy that you've got in there and maybe dig in deep. And I think you're spot on, Mark. I think if they go down early in this third set, I don't see that they're going to be able to, dig their way back in.
Yeah, you could just kind of feel their level dropping. I mean, it's so hard to play at that level that they were at for such long stretches.
We went on the air. Dave Broderick sent me a text, and he said, I think you're right that Morgan and Frazier can totally defend. He said, my question is, can they do it over 3 hours? Because that's what they're going to have to be able to, how long they're going to have to withstand, and play incredible defense and capitalize on the offensive looks, the few that they're getting. Surprised that, a lot of the offense has come from Adam Morgan out of the deuce side today, Mark, rather than Frazier, and I feel like that's Durant's positioning has kind of shut down the, some of the offensive weapons that Frazier has out of that ad court.
Okay, Frazier is back, and Durant, similar to the second set, will start the third.
Durant to serve. Third set.
Third and final set.
You. I got it.
That's just an unbelievable volley. Off balance. I thought Frazier hit a great volley behind him, and Durant just stuck his arm out and hit a touch field volley for a winner. Great lob there from Frazier. Durant with the half volley lob over their heads. Teach that shot, Patty?
Yeah, 2 years ago. To everybody, Mark, anybody.
Great ball there from Frazier.
Mark. What's amazing to me in watching this is just how good these guys are. Every one of these guys just comes up with sick volleys. I mean, they just have all quiet hands generally. They can still all their body parts. A ball comes at them 75 miles an hour, and they just take it on and can control it. It's just quite remarkable to watch.
Another miss from Mitchell. 15-30, chance for Frazier Morgan to get off to that good start that we talked about. Oh, that's Morgan's ball. Can't believe he missed that one. Hands on hips. Great swing, good decision. Just catches the top of the net. Oh, great cut winner from Frazier, and that gives them a game point. Oh, that was close. That was not close. Out of nowhere, Durant airmails an overhead, and it's 1-love Frazier Morgan. That's going to make them feel much better about things.
And that game was a little bit like the start of this match, where you saw Morgan drive that set up a blitz opportunity for Frazier to come in, and a loose overhead error from Durant. Kind of strange after the second set, where Durant just was playing lights out.
Tyler Frazier to serve.
A gigantic game for Frazier Morgan.
Oh, what a pickup from Durant. Misses that one. Whenever he misses a shot, you're kind of shocked.
So true.
Great rip from Mitchell. And that's what's been missing today is that big Mitchell forehand that's been so impactful on the last few tournaments. Oh, that ball was just tagged.
Hit it! Me! Yes. Hey! Yo! Yo!
Is it my imagination or is the calling getting louder?
Yeah. Hear the intensity in Morgan's voice. Oh, what a volley from Frazier. Here comes the hard overhead.
Come on back. Take it. Ed. Yeah, we're playing.
Here it comes again.
Crazy.
Hey! 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 Yo! Hey! Yo! Me!
Great lobbing. Durant Mitchell just opens the court up. Another spectacular point. And there Mitchell beats Frazier in transition. Wow, how good was that?
That's the forehand. Out of the deuce court from Mitchell. That I love.
Little conversation here between Frazier and Morgan, slowing things down. I think this is really smart.
15-30.
Players are so focused, they don't even know the score, who's serving.
Yeah.
I have to catch my breath watching this match,
Yeah.
Mark.
Oh, Durant misses that one. That was an aggressive move. 30 all. There's just nowhere to serve Durant in the deuce court.
30-40.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a loose error from Morgan there. Didn't really commit to that shot with his usual ferocity.
I think he's still recovering from that other point where they tracked down so many amazing shots.
Point for 1 all.
Hey! Wow, nice cut.
There, Frazier beats Mitchell in the corner. Back to deuce.
Great time for that cutter from Frazier.
Yeah. Hit it!
Durant is bailing, and then he just sticks his pedal down and makes a half volley from service line.
Hey! You.
Oh yeah, the one-hand topspin backhand breaks that one out. Both Durant and Mitchell jumping on top of the net as they see Morgan driving.
Oh, what is that?
And there Frazier just travels too far to make that volley. That was just another unbelievable point.
Hey, Mark, I'd mentioned earlier, when we'll see Mitchell over there in that deuce court, and I do love Mitchell deuce, Durant add, and what weapons they possess from those court positions.
Mitchell much prefers returning from the deuce court. Oh, Durant a little flick backhand, and it's 1-all. The only thing I would say in response to that, Patty, is Durant's not playing the deuce court. Durant's playing the middle of the court. He's just everywhere. He generates offense in ways that no one else in the game does. Okay, Mitchell to serve, 1-all, third set. Oh, Morgan with a huge drive actually beats Durant. Don't see that too often. Great volley from Durant, just absolutely hit the perfect spot in the court. Anything else Frazier or Morgan could have run down? But took that hard drive from Morgan and placed it beautifully. Here again, we see Mitchell taking that hard overhead cross court at Morgan. Durant again, just incredible net coverage. You see Durant and Mitchell closing the net as well as any team in the country. They're just both jumping as close to the net as they can, virtually touching it. Morgan misses that one. You just wonder how many shots can they continue to make.
Yeah, last time Morgan went wide, he hit in the middle, and Durant came up with that amazing volley. I'd love to see him take one of those drives again down the line. Go behind the player at the net instead of to the middle.
And there you got a great look at Durant as the ball went through, just watching him the whole way. Misses that one, takes us back to 30-all.
They won the first set, Frazier Morgan, because Morgan's ability to mix up those drives, and that's what I've got to see that here in this third set for them to keep this real competitive.
Just hit the 2-hour mark.
Hey!
A great ball from Mitchell.
Crazy good.
With a donation. 40. Oh, that's just totally Patty. That was a hard drive. Frazier. Misses that one. Good and the bad of Johan Durant. And a fault from Mitchell takes us to 2-1. I was saying that last serve from Mitchell was a little dicey to Frazier. Just barely cleared the net, and that one doesn't.
Yeah, you saw the movement, which we've seen so much over the years with Durant at the net there, and it worked out brilliantly on the drop shot winner and then cost him on the next one. But that's the movement that we know that's the pressure Durant applies constantly. Gigantic game there, and Tyler Frazier and Adam Morgan, I mean, they're showing us something right now, Mark.
Okay, it's
Incredible
2-1
amount of
Frazier
grit.
Morgan. So the scoreboard is reversed. Great rip from Frazier, but Mitchell has the answer. What a great blitz from Frazier, and Durant still made a great volley, but Frazier hit a great half volley lob.
I'll be here. Yep.
Oh, and then Frazier does to Durant what Durant does to so many others.
Yeah, Mark, just when I felt that Frazier didn't have much in his tank, he must have had a power bar, because all of a sudden he's totally back engaged and dictating play.
Oh, Durant just tagged that ball, and Frazier had the answer. 40 love. A rare, easy hold possibility here for Frazier Morgan to go up 3-1 and separate themselves a little bit in the final set. Yeah, that was not the shot, and Morgan knows it.
But that's the pressure Durant puts on you. He's up there, and Morgan tried to keep it away from him. Fortunately, the net got in the way.
Love Morgan taking his time here.
Give it up.
Great inside-out forehand from Mitchell, takes the net. Morgan with a spin around. Mitchell thinks it's going out, but it doesn't. And then Mitchell with a brilliant shot to get us back to 40-30.
Oh, my Lord, that was good. What a ball from Mitchell.
Another great forehand from Mitchell. And Morgan is now in the Durant blender. They switch and get Frazier back over there. Catches the nick. Great trail by Morgan. Huge moment in the match here. Durant misses that one, and it's 3-1 Frazier Morgan.
They lead the third set 3-1.
Just a total change of momentum again. And Frazier and Morgan now look like they're playing the first set again. It's quite a remarkable adjustment that they've been able to make and just dig into their reserves here. This is incredible to watch.
Great paddle. What a huge drive for Morgan.
Love 30.
Love 30, and this thing is getting away from Durant Mitchell. You don't want to say this is a must hold, but this would be awfully big. Frazier Morgan. Oh, Durant with the lead cord winner. It's a great spot from Frazier. Frazier smartly bails.
15-40.
Durant misses that overhead. It's 15-40.
Yep.
Again, Frazier Morgan with a lot of great lobs deep in the court. There's the blitz from Frazier. Only Durant could try a soft little touch shot off of a cut winner, and Frazier's overhead goes out of the court. It's 30-40. Scott Valatek replaced Lubau there, getting the ball back for us. Brilliant play from Frazier.
Again, the lob volley mark from Frazier.
Huge moment in the match right here. Frazier Morgan have upped their level again. Durant sees that one, but Frazier's able to counter it. Oh! Backhand half volley on the outside of the line. Yeah, okay. From 5 feet behind the service line. Here it comes again. Oh, Frazier misses that one. With Durant retreating, he wasn't going to be effective with it regardless. Oh, great volley from Mitchell.
Advantage, Durant.
Wow. Well, this is worthy of a national final, Patty.
It is. I feel like the match is turning again right now, Mark.
Such great lobbing from Tyler Frazier. Durant consistently out of the service box, almost behind Mitchell. There's that forehand you like so much, Patty, out of the deuce court from Mitchell. Frazier misses it, and the match has turned yet again.
I mean, it's amazing. You go in 12-minute segments here. 12 minutes ago, you thought Frazier Morgan had nothing in the tank. You know, I felt that Frazier done quite a remarkable job of handling play out of that ad court for a couple hours. just, you think he's got nothing left. All of a sudden, he kind of had the surge. They got their combination drive blitz going again. Then all of a sudden, Frazier had 2 points in that game, Mark. He made an error, kind of got sucked into the Durant vortex slightly, I would say. And right now, we're back 3-2, and my Stephen Mitchell forehand wish has come true out of that deuce court, Mark.
I thought Frazier Morgan played a couple of great points at break point, just didn't win them.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Durant hit that backhand half volley from behind the service line. Cut winner from Mitchell. When Morgan once again forgets who's serving. I love the intensity and focus of the players. Good thing we have an umpire out there to tell them what's going on. Mitchell travels a little too far and misses that volley.
I don't mind the play, Mark. I love seeing Mitchell getting involved here in the third set.
I'd rather see him hitting the forehand than blitzing, though. Now they're in survival mode against the Durant overhead. They've got to get up a good lob, and there's one right there.
Mark, is a good lob a lob to Stephen Mitchell? Is that what you mean?
That definitely helps, but just the depth of it, pushing him out of the service box.
15-30.
I remember talking to Jared Palmer after a match against Durant, and he was talking about what an incredible legs workout it was playing against Durant. And you can bet that Frazier Morgan are going to be pretty tired at the end of this. Yeah, a little bit of a blurt from Frazier. Just takes so little. You got to play so well to just hang in these points. Great return from Mitchell. Morgan's driving has been incredible. Oh, Durant hits the drop volley winner, and it's 3-all.
Games are 3-all, third set.
Patty, with from 1 to 10, with 1 being no and 10 being everything, what chance do you give Frazier Morgan right now?
6.
6 out of 10. Wow.
I'm a believer, Mark.
So you're saying you think they're the favorite to win?
You said on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah, well, obviously 5 would be a toss-up. 10 would be a guarantee.
I'm going 6 still.
Okay.
I
Brave,
stand by
I
my
love
number.
it.
30, love.
Yeah, a little bit of leakage here. That volley Durant hit in the first point, I think was a miss hit off the top of his paddle, but maybe he intended it that way. What the heck do I know? Yeah, this is a bad game for Frazier Morgan.
Did I say 4?
I was thinking that 6 is not going to stand too well. That was just a great shot Adam Morgan hit, and it didn't do him any good. That was just a silly volley Durant hit. That should not be legal.
They lead the third set 4-3.
I mean, Frazier Morgan have done everything right. They've played, I want to say, the match of their lifetime. See Adam Morgan stretching. And they're down 4-3 in the third. It was 10 minutes ago. They had points to go up 4-1.
Yeah. Again, every 12 minutes, it's a different story out here, Mark. The reason I say Morgan Frazier is 6.
I thought you said 4. I thought you said 4.
First I started with 6, then I just went to 4.
What are we at
But
now?
I'm going to go back. I'm going back to my 6 because I really am so impressed with their play today. And when they need another reserve of energy, they seem to have been able to find it. They did it yesterday in their quarter win. Semi, I'm looking for one more surge from them.
So the Patty meter is back to 6.
Back to 6, and I think they need to find the player on the opposite side dressed in all black more.
Well, this is pretty close to a must-hold. Great view of the Durant forehand provided for us by John Scott, and then he hits a spectacular backhand drop shot winner.
See, too soon for Frazier to pull the trigger on that drive right there, and I'm serious, they've got to get Stephen Mitchell hitting more of the overheads here. Johan's just taking over. Hard to avoid him, but they're going to have to be a lot more thoughtful and deliberate about their shot selection.
What a get from Durant. A brilliant volley from Frazier. I think that hit Frazier in the hand. Patty, I think the Patty meter should be at 2, but what do I know? This thing's going down the tubes fast. Just play has gotten way too fast for Frazier Morgan. Love the decision to stay back here.
But that's what I'm saying. They're pulling the trigger a little too quickly in these points. Frazier on that drive I referred to because he had Durant on top of the net. He's never going to beat Durant in that situation. Their success came from really good lobbing and a lot of it. And we'll see if they can't draw on that again.
I think you're spot on, Patty, and it's so ironic that in this game that's gotten so much faster with so many weapons that lobbing is still such a critical element of it.
I think it always comes back to fundamentals, Mark.
Unless you're Johan Durant.
Whole different set of rules for him.
Love 40.
This thing is going down the tubes. What's Jerry Villon's phrase? The water is circling the drain? Going down the drain? Well, it's circling it now, headed to go down the drain. And that would be counterclockwise for Jerry because she's in Australia. Look at Durant play that ball. Looked like he was in trouble and just casually reached back and grabbed it. There he pushes it too fast. Great overhead from Morgan.
Yeah, really well placed, and they needed that big time to get. You had him at a 2. I still have him at a 4. Durant's voice is so much calmer right now, Mark, at this point in the third set than earlier.
Look at that sequence from Durant. I mean, Frazier played a brilliant point. But how many shots can you make with Durant there? And now he'll serve for the match at 5-3. Where's the Patty meter?
It just went to 1.
Well, the belief is gone from at least one of the announcers. Great return there from Morgan. I'm going to stay at my 2.
Me. You. Me.
I go.
Me. Me. You.
Great lobbing from Frazier. Look where he has Durant. 5 feet to the right of the base center line, and that ball catches the line, and Durant misses it. It's love 30.
30.
And I'm sensing the patty meter is going to change yet again.
I just doubled it.
And again, they won that point with great lobbing. That's what they've got to do.
You.
Interesting to see if Durant switches sides again here. Hasn't yet.
You. You. Me.
There he goes. Another great lob from Frazier. And Mitchell both blitzing the net there as they saw Morgan driving that ball.
Me. You. You.
Oh, great get off the seam from Frazier. What a shot.
Come on now.
40.
Woo, boy.
I go.
Me.
Tremendous cut overhead from Durant. Anything in the service box, he is punishing. 15-40.
You. No.
He made contact with that volley.
30. 40.
He was 3 feet to the left side of the service line. 30-40.
Ah! Help!
Me. You. You. Me. Me.
I think you're absolutely right, Patty. They've got to find Stephen Mitchell. Oh, great ball there.
Come on.
Durant misses that, and it's 5-4. Do you think we need a website for the patty meter?
5 games to 4.
Okay, what's your number right now, Mark?
Sticking with my 2. I'm thinking Durant Mitchell closing this thing out.
Looking for their 5th tournament win of the season, heading into nationals. But again, Frazier Morgan, it's just pace of play, you know, and when it just goes up, when it's fast, it's Durant Mitchell. When they're much more deliberate, a little slower, it's Frazier Morgan.
Interesting that Morgan is in tight here against Durant. But not for long. Good swing from Morgan. Right ball. Hit it well, just caught the tape. And that's the problem, is you have to make that shot so many times against Durant Mitchell.
Come on. Nice shot.
Great volley from Morgan.
And a little bounce in Morgan's step, Mark. I'm going to a 5.
Come on.
Frazier beats Durant in transition, and they're 2 points from evening this thing up. Match deserves a third set tiebreak, doesn't it, Patty?
For sure, Mark.
Frazier blitzes it, and we're 2 points from being done. Good look there, just fails to convert. Yeah, Morgan that's just too far for Frazier to go to try and make that volley, and that takes us to match point.
I'm at a 1.
Okay, Tyler Frazier to serve, down match point in the third. He's going to challenge the Mitchell return again. And Mitchell misses. He's done that consistently where Frazier's really challenged him with that serve. With good success.
Yeah, usually you just can bank on Mitchell on the returns, and he's just struggling with that today.
Love Frazier and Morgan staying back here. I think that's a really smart move. There's just no point in hanging in there against Durant.
Taking a little breather here. Smart,
now they're going
smart
forward.
Tactic.
Great transition play from Frazier. And Durant airmails the forehand, and they've got a point for 5-all. See if Mitchell goes after this return again. He does. It's a great one. Mitchell hitting more of the overheads here. Durant switching sides. Rip from Morgan. Oh, what a volley from Frazier.
Sick.
Great get from Morgan on the nick. And we start over. We got to see that one again. I don't know how Frazier made that volley. Durant is loading up on these overheads. Frazier ducks to get out of the way of that one. Frazier misses that lob long. Played such a good point. Again, so many good shots required to win a point. And now they've got to go back to Durant.
I was just thinking that. How many incredible shots does it take? It's like 12 every point.
Coming.
A great exchange at the net. Good lobbing has really negated the hard overhead from Durant. We haven't seen that in a while. Oh, Frazier just airmails the backhand, and I think it was a good ball to swing at. It was high, it was short, but he didn't really make good contact with it, and it's match point number 2. What a serve from Frazier down match point. 2.5 hour mark, he pulls out a virtual ace. Can I call that an ace, Patty?
I'm calling it an ace.
Wow, really coming up with the goods in the big moments.
Advantage Durant.
It's the first fault we've seen from him in a while. And that's why I'd rather see Morgan back. I mean, Durant is taking over the net every single return. Match point number 3.
Yep.
First one that's been in play. There you see Durant switching and get his back into the backhand court. Great lob from Mitchell.
Yep.
Here we go. Spinorama from Frazier. These lobs are too short. They've got to get a couple up in the air, and they've got to find Mitchell.
Yep. Yep. Me. You, I go. Yep. Yep.
First time all match we've seen Durant Mitchell intentionally switch in the backcourt. There they take over the net again. Yeah, that's the play I don't like, Patty. I want to see Durant blitzing, not Mitchell. Misses that one. Great action. 3 match points saved.
Yeah, why does Durant get to have all the fun, Mark? Why can't Steven blitz?
Because he's Durant.
Exactly.
There's the hard overhead for a winner from Durant, and it's match point number 4. He just keeps coming up with the goods. Level of play is just off the charts right now. One more great serve from Tyler Frazier. Another missed return from Mitchell. Love the confidence. He's going after it.
Yeah, I love how much time Frazier took before that serve, Mark. Felt after his ace, he had kind of rushed it.
And there, Morgan comes up with a volley, and it's a point for 5-all. Frazier Morgan.
Yo!
Great move from Frazier. Oh, great reaction from Frazier. I don't think he picked that ball up until the last second.
Yo, hit it!
Oh, what a shot from Mitchell! And the crowd erupts. What a point. Did I say that before?
Yes, many times. Because this has truly been an incredible platform tennis match.
Oh, great spot from Frazier, and they'll have another opportunity to tie this up at 5. Got that ball behind Durant. Durant's ability to hit those volleys in motion is just unparalleled. The epitome of the fast feet, soft hands Jerry Viant likes to talk about. They've got to find Mitchell more with their lobs.
It's easier said than done, Mark. It's so hard once the spins start to direct your shots and force Mitchell to play the overhead.
No question. Oh, Frazier with a great blitz. He catches them unawares and he just misses the volley. Love the move. Back to deuce. Great exchange from Frazier. He wins that hands battle with Durant, and they'll have another opportunity to get to 5-all. A great spot from Mitchell. That made that overhead look easy. It was anything but. And Mitchell misses, and it's 5-all, third and final set.
Morgan, games are 5-all, third set.
I'm telling you, Patty, it's meant to be a breaker. It's just so good.
Kind of cliche, you know, you say, I hate to see either team lose because each team has battled here. And Frazier and Morgan just have put on an incredible performance. We've come to expect it all the time from Mitchell and Durant. And lots of questions, Frazier Morgan, and they've answered a lot of questions here. Remarkable play.
Called out, confirmed by chair umpire McAvoy, 15-all. Great volley from Mitchell. Here he comes. Just so much pressure on Frazier over there. Misses that one. Great positive language from Morgan. Transition ball from Mitchell. Another nick from Durant. Oh, what a volley. That was a good decision by Morgan not to drive that ball. Oh, Durant with the hard overhead catches the net, brings him to his knees.
I have to say, I think that's only the the second overhead error that I've ever seen Durant make on a shot like that, Mark.
5-all, 30-all. Misses the volley long, and it's break point. Catches the nick, and they'll serve for the match and the title. It's 6-5. Brilliant play there from Tyler Frazier.
You know, Mark, it's an incredible balance these players have when, you know, the choices that they have to make when you play against Durant and Mitchell. You know, for Tyler Frazier, you've just seen him go up and down his level, and you know, you just didn't think he had another gear to kick into, and he's shown us that he has, and for that reason, my meter is sitting at a 9 right now, Mark.
But we know how fickle your meter can be. Oh, Durant just whiffs that ball in the sun. That was Mitchell's ball the whole way.
Let it go, I got you.
Durant misses the lob. They're 3 points away.
9.1.
Durant almost hit Mitchell with his backswing there. Yeah. Frazier Morgan are giving away nothing right now. Again, Morgan. Oh, boy, Mitchell hit an overhead he shouldn't have hit, and they almost paid for it. Great swing from Morgan, just catches the top of the tape.
Well, that was their perfect setup. You saw Frazier had committed to going forward, just didn't pull it off.
Mitchell sliding over the deuce court at the net. 15-all. Frazier misses that one, and again the pressure of the Durant overhead. Look for Durant Mitchell to switch in the backcourt here. Or Durant will just hit a ball through them. Gloves are just too short right now. Great volley from Mitchell. Well, he is volleyed, as he usually does exceptionally well.
Hit. Ah, got it.
Here it comes. Oh, it's the soft one instead. And the lob is in. Good cutoff from Frazier. Oh, what a get from Mitchell. How athletic was that move? How do you win a point in this sport, Patty?
I have no idea.
Durant staying away from the hard over, had a couple opportunities there, didn't pull the trigger. Again, Durant Mitchell just on top of the net. Great get off the nick. Somehow Morgan gets out of the way of that hard overhead. And we begin again. And Durant hits an inside-out forehand winner on a shot that doesn't exist.
I just feel like there's a couple of times here where they're in transition. It's just crazy good points. And, you know, I would not involve. I still would put it on Stephen Mitchell's paddle. Make him beat you. The moment of truth. I have so much faith in Durant's abilities at any point, at any score.
2 points for our third set tiebreak that we've been looking for. Tyler Frazier, traffic cop. Now there Durant gets beat with the drop shot. They save one break point. Staying back. Great decision.
Got it.
How long will Durant stay on that side? Well, there's the answer. Not very long.
No.
Another great ball from Morgan.
Yo!
And there, the forehand from Durant and the blitz from Mitchell causes the error, and will play a tiebreak to determine the winner of the 2022 Philly Open.
To decide the match.
Mitchell doing a little housekeeping. Durant with some words of wisdom. You see Morgan stretching his legs out. Gotta be happy to know this thing's gonna be over in about 10 minutes, one way or the other.
Maybe.
Unless they play a 26-24 tiebreak, like Opelka and Isner. And here we go again. 10 minutes might have been optimistic. Oh, great play from Frazier. Durant misses the volley. It's one love, Frazier Morgan. He's really used his movement in his hands beautifully the last half hour, 40 minutes to put pressure on them. Combination of the great Morgan driving and the great Frazier movement. One love, Frazier Morgan.
You help me.
Frazier Morgan played one of the best defensive matches I've ever seen. Worthy of Drew
And they're in at
Broderick.
Fiddler's Elbow, Mark. TV, third set. Just saying.
See Morgan screaming, "Go Ed, go Ed." That one pops out. I thought that was going to die.
Hey! You!
Worked so hard to get the net and then just gone right away. That's been their best play when they can find Mitchell with that down-the-line lob. He's hit a lot of balls that Morgan's crushed. Durant again with a spectacular shot. Or have I said that before?
I feel like Morgan's looking like he's maybe starting to cramp a little bit, Mark. Picking up his...
Lead cord winner, yeah, seems shaking his legs out. Didn't stop him from driving that
Yeah.
ball. One all. The first 2 points took about 7 minutes.
You. You.
And then Durant switches. Oh, fantastic cut winner from Frazier.
Frazier
Not even
Morgan.
Durant can run it down. 2-1, Frazier Morgan.
How much nerve did it take to pull off that shot right there?
Go! Get up! Got him. Come on now.
Wow.
3-1. Frazier Morgan.
Just out of nowhere, a miss like that.
Yep.
Come here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3-2.
Ball looks like it caught the seam. Morgan can't catch it up. And it's 3-2. Frazier Morgan as the teams will switch sides.
Mark, one of the most amazing paddle matches we've seen.
Remarkable.
It's just a highlight reel. Every point has about 5 highlight reel type shots.
3 serving 2.
See how low Frazier's getting for that hard roller at him. Great base.
Me.
Oh, catches the nick. Frazier's blitzing. He's not there to trail, and it's 3-all.
Wow, we've just not heard a lot from Stephen Mitchell in this third set, Mark, but right there, he hit the overhead of the day so far. What a key point.
Haven't seen Durant go for that cut finish. That was a perfect opportunity.
You.
Yeah, he goes for it there and he misses it.
Frazier Morgan.
4-3, Frazier Morgan. Oh, what a sequence! Oh my God! I mean, Tyler Frazier hit 4 brilliant volleys at that point, but couldn't come up with the 5th. 4-all. Frazier misses it long, and it's 5-4 Durant Mitchell, and once again they're 2 points from the match.
Oh my gosh, well over the 3-hour mark out here. And just the combination shot making. I just love watching this, their movement, their skills, their anticipation. I mean, this is extraordinary.
3 hours, 2 minutes. Okay, Tyler to Frazier to serve. 4-5, third and final set tiebreak.
Hey, what's it?
Yeah. Run it clear from behind the court, please.
Our cameraman out there, the camera got dislodged. Had to stop in the middle.
4 serving 5.
Might be a good thing for Morgan Frazier.
Durant. Frazier misses that, and it'll be match points 5 and 6 if necessary for Durant Mitchell. Oh, great transition ball from Mitchell. And there it is, game, set, match, Durant Mitchell, 6-7, 2-6, 7-6. Patty, that was absolutely spectacular. Thoughts on the match?
Hey, I had Morgan Frazier way up to even a 9 mark. I believe that they could have taken this, but, you know, again, the difference in these matches just comes down to the remarkable play of Johan Durant and Stephen Mitchell. They win their first event of the 5th event of the year. They've not lost a match since they went out in the semis of Chicago Charities to Parsons and Araya. Since then, they've won every tournament they've played in, and as they head into the national championships, I don't think they'll go out to Birchwood. They'll head into the nationals out on Long Island on an incredible winning streak with 1 loss going into nationals. I thought Morgan and Frazier might have had their number with their incredible play. Their teamwork, I thought, was just the best I've seen Morgan Frazier play all year, and I just think hats off to Ron and Mitchell just finding a way when it just didn't seem like it was their day. They just struggled with their teamwork, execution a little bit, but then ultimately it comes down to Johan Durant making a difference, and that he did. We're going to have an opportunity to talk to our Philadelphia Open champion shortly. Mark's yeah, Durant and Mitchell sit on top of the national rankings, headed #1 into our national championship, and hoping for their 3rd straight national championship title. I think we'll hear from Mark, Johan, and Stephen shortly.
I'm here with the winners of the 2022 Philly Open. Johan, Stephen, that was breathtaking. Johan, tell us what was going on in your mind out there.
A lot of juggling, whatever the word is. A lot of stuff flying around that doesn't make any sense.
Stephen, a little spotty at times, but you were brilliant at the end. Tell us what you were thinking.
Yeah, I think we were spotty, but we were also working on a few things, so hopefully that'll help for the future. But again, hats off to Tyler and Adam. They played a great match, and they make you earn every point.
Yeah, Tyler's blitzing, Adam's driving. What was your game plan coming in, Johan?
I don't think we had a great game plan. That's why we started a little bit of a mess. It was a good time with the family here, but I don't know. I think we came to the courts a little bit messed up, but they played too good in the beginning, and then they just kept going. We tried to end points or win points, but that's normally when things go wrong when you try to think that way.
Any closing thoughts or thank yous you guys want to share?
Thanks to everybody here that made this happen. It's always fun to be on the road and playing these tournaments. So thank you for everybody. Yeah.
Johan?
Yeah, same here, and thanks to Tim McAvoy, umpire. He's obviously very good always. These guys played awesome, Tyler and Adam. The last thing, I mean, everybody knows it, but shout out to Georgie Wilkinson's family and friends. He's a reasonably good friend of mine, but all I know of him has been awesome. So very tragic, but anyway, I don't want to end too much with that, but I got to throw it in.
Really well said, Johan. That was one of the best matches I've ever had the privilege of watching. Congratulations, guys. And we're looking forward to seeing you in Long Island in 3 weeks. And that's a wrap from Philadelphia.